Hi, Omega Khaos here with a new series on my channel, which is going to be called Yu-Gi-Oh! Online with Omega Khaos. So in this series I'm going to show 3 of the best replays with a certain deck, and this time I'm going to show Exodia. So right now this is the deck. I think it works pretty well actually. I had a few different options how I would build the deck. First, of course, was the FTK version, but I don't think that is consistent at all. And the other one was the Stall Mystic Mine version, which some people use, but I don't really want to go in that direction for obvious reasons. It's just not very nice or fun way to play, and your opponent is just going to quit. But I actually want to get Exodia off, and a lot of the time my opponent won't really even expect it. So this particular version focuses on searching out your Exodia pieces and also trying to of course stall your opponent a little bit as well. I'm not going to really explain the deck. So yeah, so I guess let's show the replays. So the first matchup is against the Prayer Plant deck. So let's hit play, and I will pause if there is an important moment. So of course I'm going to just use my draw cards to tribute my searchers and draw more cards and stuff like that. So I already have 3 Exodia pieces in my hand already. That's definitely pretty amazing. My opponent has a pretty decent hand actually, but they don't really have anything to actually stop me from getting Exodia. So I take all that damage because I don't really need to use Fettering Roar yet. But now in my turn I will actually make a little bit of a mistake because of a certain play my opponent makes. I'm going to just equip the Wonder Wand, draw 2 and search with Wish of the Black Forest, another piece, then a set monster incarnation, and unfortunately obviously have the Fettering Roar. But if my opponent actually chose Fettering Roar, I would have been pretty screwed in my turn. But I'm thankfully able to activate Fettering Roar in draw phase, and I can't really do anything. And in next turn obviously I'm going to search for the last piece in my deck, and then of course I'll get the Exodia. So that's definitely really amazing. Obviously everything just went very smoothly, I guess. So let's go and see another replay of this deck. Then the second matchup is against Sacred Beast, and I guess they are playing Numerons as well. So hand is pretty good, I would say. Also I'm obviously running the Swift Scarecrow. They're able to stop the negate my opponent's attack and then end the battle phase. But of course if my opponent has like monster effect negation, then I will be pretty screwed, of course. That's of course this deck has a lot of weaknesses against the current meta decks, of course. That's of course this deck is not very competitive right now. So let's hit play and let's see how it goes. Alright, of course my opponent doing the Sacred Beast plays. I do have the deck as well, and which I will eventually showcase in the real life deck profile. So my opponent already has 2 Sacred Priests on the board. Here's Duality. Also used to use hand destruction in my deck as well, but eventually I decided to take it out because obviously it's very reliant. So your opponent has to have 2 cards in the hand, as well as it also can help the opponent out as well. Just not very good. So activate another Duality, but the opponent activates Sacred Beast Awakening. So obviously against a different deck that play will be very devastating. But I mostly in this deck don't use a lot of on-field effects. Most of my effects activate in the graveyard. So activate my Swift Scarecrow and then the battle phase, otherwise I will be pretty much almost dead. opponent just going all in essentially. Okay, I have pretty decent position, almost one Sangan. Then I'm going to actually attack over the Uraya because that card is actually kind of pretty annoying because I can just destroy a back row and I can't respond to it. So I set my Sigurds and stuff like that because I have too many cards in my hand. Use another Swift Scarecrow to end the battle phase. Then I threw a fourth piece and then just get the final piece back from the graveyard. But again, Exodia again, very easily. Of course, you won't always be able to do it, of course, because obviously it's not very easy to get all the pieces, but of course if you don't have enough searching, because obviously we have Witch at 3 as well as Sangan. You can link off Sangan into Salmagit Armorage. And of course use Wonder One and Spell of Knowledge to throw cards with Witch of Black Forest and stuff like that. So now let's see the final replay, which is going to be against Salamangreat. So this is the final replay of this video. So of course I chose this replay because obviously it's against the kind of a meta deck, so to speak, I guess. It's obviously not tier 1, but Salamangreat is kind of a tier 1.5 or tier 2 deck still. I think it's still pretty good. So yeah, so I guess let's showcase the duel. My hand is pretty good. I have some throw power, searching, and also stall, so I will be able to survive for a pretty long time. Because no point going off with the Salamangreat plays. With the Castle and all that. Okay, check Jaguar, update Jammer, of course. My opponent would obviously go for Transcode Talker towards Kami, but of course I have the Fettering Roar to stop my opponent. So Duality, activated. Yeah, pretty good. In this case, obviously set the Fettering Roar. Then no opponent goes for Access Code, but of course before all that happens, I'm going to activate Fettering Roar. And the Access Code is really good, so obviously if they activate that effect, I can't respond to it. Definitely early on, actually going to normal summon. Actually going to pause here. So essentially, what I did here is that I normal summon my Exodia piece and use Wonder Wand on it. Of course, most of the time you don't want your Exodia pieces in your graveyard, but I do have cards in my deck that recycle my Exodia pieces from the graveyard, like Dark Factory of the Mass Production, which you will actually see later. And I also have cards like Obliterate, which actually send my Exodia pieces from my deck to the graveyard and then bounce a monster. So that's definitely really good as well. So let's go and see what happens. So again, in draw phase, going to get rid of the Access Code Talker because that card can be very annoying. And then of course my opponent going off again. Alright, then also one Spoken Magician Prophecy to get my Spoken Knowledge. Well, Chain Obliterate, but of course my opponent then has the Infinite Permanence as well, which negates my player because it's in the same column. Alright, attack toward the Bailings, because why not? Okay, get a little bit of damage. Okay, to the second Exodia piece. I have obviously the one in the graveyard. No, actually two at this point. So if I don't throw my Dark Factories, I will be pretty screwed. I'm going for Sunlight Wolf. I try to bounce it, but again, my opponent has another Infinite Permanence. Alright, then I'm cycling that. Then my opponent gets back to Rage, which can be a bit of an issue for my deck. Alright, I have the one there piece which buys me another turn. It's actually somewhat legendary. Actually need pause at this point. So what this card does obviously is you tribute the 4-1 monster, and then it's unaffected by all other card effects. and then in the end phase you have to get back a 4v1 from the graveyard back to your hand, and also because it gains total attack for each 4v1 monster in the graveyard, and then if destroyed by battle you can draw cards for each of your 4v1 monsters you have in your hand. That will be really good in certain situations. Obviously just because they have to destroy it by battle because it's unaffected by everything else. So definitely I think it's a pretty good card, but only one is needed. You can just search it out easily with Witch of the Black Forest. So let's just keep playing, get back to the Exodia piece. Alright, my band still goes off, obviously. Then my band that destroys my Exodia card, and I draw 3 cards, and I got that Dark Factory mass production, which obviously means that I think obviously unfortunately my opponent does that I have that Sunlight draw as well. My opponent then ashes my duality, then activate Dark Factory mass production, that's get negated, but I have a second one as well which gets me back those last Exodia pieces, so I won against Solomon Great as well. Like I said, of course, these replays have been chosen by me from many different replays, and obviously I don't save duels that I lose terribly, so yeah, so again, the success rate is about 50-50. Sometimes you draw like a terrible hand, sometimes your opponent just has too many negations and all that stuff, so yeah, but all around pretty good deck. So let's go back to the, I guess, deck profile. So that's it for this episode. So of course here's the deck. Not going to explain it too much. I think you probably saw what the deck really does. Of course you run also the link ones because Almanage, you can Almanage by normal summoning Sungun. Obviously since you don't really use the battle phase, you can just go into your main phase 2 and go into it by normal summoning Witch of Black Forest. But then obviously get the search after that, and also it's a spellcaster, so if you don't have a spellcaster for your Wanderer Wand and Spellbook Knowledge, and just like normal summon Sungun, go into your main phase 2, then go into this, and then you can just tribute it or send it to the graveyard for Wanderer Wand and Spellbook Knowledge. I think that's all that's really important, so I'm still kind of working on the deck, and I will build this deck in real life as well. So I hope you enjoyed this first episode of this series. For now, goodbye and Khaos out.